A lot of people trying to lose weight are told the same thing, just eat more protein. Or even when you're trying to like gain muscle mass. But, specifically to lose weight, the number one advice is to like eat more protein. And so of course, like any normal person, you're just gonna go and start buying protein. And today's world, it's like protein has just colonized all our different food sources. You got protein chips, protein juice. That's crazy to me. Protein coffee, protein, she's just everywhere. Everywhere. But not all protein are made equally. So when people start buying the protein bars, the snacks, believing that they're making healthier choices, but when in actuality, when you read the ingredients labels on a lot of these foods, you know, you see that many of these protein sources are ultra processed snacks with protein added into it, protein isolate added into it. So, which means a lot of the times these behave more like a candy than an actual real food. Um, so in this video, we're going to be able to see like the differences between real protein versus fake protein. And you can easily do that just by reading the ingredients list. In the last videos, we talked about how sugar isn't hides in foods under many different names. Today, we're going to use the um, more ingredients labels to decode like protein foods, real protein food. So, what exactly would I consider real protein foods, what they look like, and again, for me, single ingredient stuff will take you far. If you can, and those tends to be whole food. Stick to your eggs, stick to your chicken, stick to your yogurt, your Greek yogurt, plain yogurt, tofu, beans. I don't know about tofu because I heard that don't be highly processed too, but I don't eat tofu, so I don't know much about it. But anyways, um, yeah. So there's so many sources that you can still eat this protein and without necessarily compromising your journey. And again, real protein are usually very simple. One to few ingredients in there, one and doesn't contain sugar and all the stuff within it. Um, and it and on top of that, and even if let's say like it happens to be a little bit of sugar, the majority of it will be the protein because a lot of them sometimes they are just not sometimes they are just yeah, more junk than protein. And so what exactly would fake protein look like? You're gonna see a lot of the protein bars, most of them, a lot of the protein shakes, a lot of the chips, cereal, cookies. Many of these are built around, many of these are actually not built around like whole food protein. Instead, they are processed food snacks where protein was then added later. So, you know, like a common like protein additive you see would be like whey protein isolate, soy protein isolate, pea protein isolate. And these ingredients by themselves are actually not necessarily bad. It's just that they appear inside. the ingredients list filled with sweeteners and additives, making them ultra processed. And so I'm going to share my screen again like I normally do and walk you through some of these example of fake versus real protein. Can you see my screen? Um, I crack myself up sometimes, even though I know my humor can be dry. But anyways, moving forward, as you can see here, um, as you can see, this is David's protein bar. This is just a protein bar I found. 28 grams of protein. Man, my old self would be 0 grams of sugar. I would be jumping right now if I saw something like that because one scoop of like protein powder, which most protein powders just taste nasty to me. Honestly, if we're being for real, a lot of protein-based stuff, be like the processed ones, it tastes nasty to me. It's hard, like I used to force feed myself these, and this is why I knew like that journey for trying to build the biggest nyash was not for me. Anyways, let's look at this ingredients list. And this is recommended by some PhD guy. He looks familiar. I think I've seen him on YouTube before, but I could be wrong. But anyways, when you look at the ingredients list, you know, you see like again, like I told you, when you start to see paragraphs, my rule of thumb is 7 or less. 10 or less if like it's clear, but like the lesser the ingredients list, because I have seen some like products where it's like they had like seasonings, like sauces, will be like 10 lists, but it was like things, it would be ingredients such as onions, ginger, basil, like that is fine. But more than that, chances are this joint is highly processed. So the less the list, the smaller the list, the better. And that's why I'm always going to advocate for like Whole Foods because they usually just one ingredient. Anyways, so here, this is the protein, the milk protein isolate, like I gave earlier, and then binding system, maltitol. I would not be surprised if this is another name of sugar. This, yeah, allulose for sure, glycerin, yup. Um, let's see, fat system, modified, like all of this. Nope, nope, nope. Natural and artificial flavor. Nope, nope, nope. Sucralose. So the list of ingredients here, this is an example of a protein, a candy bar, acting as a main source of protein. No, these are the protein bars that when you eat, like, yes, you can get results, but at what cost? Like sometimes, and this is why I like the way I'm approaching the way that I believe, like, it's not just about the result. Like, you can always find ways to cheat the system, but it's the overall way to, like, do it. Like, can you figure out a way to, like, actually, instead of finding shortcuts, but actually finding sustainable ways to nurture your body because it's not just temporary, it's for the rest of your life. So you might as well do the work up front to figure out like what works for you, what can you cook, understand the ingredients list, create your list, and then when you're going shopping, you can just rotate. Like that's what I do because unfortunately you have to do that in America. Um, you have to do a lot of research online nowadays. Listen to like actual healthcare professionals, not just any. I listen to like functional medicine doctors, um, read some of your books and stuff like that. And I've taken nutrition course before. And so yeah, educate yourself because no one else, you're the only one that gets to live in your body, and no one else is going to do the work for you. And so, you know, eating these sources of I don't want you eating the sources of protein thinking that you're eating, the right food. And that's something I see a lot of people complain about. It's like I'm eating the protein, but I'm still seeing the gut is not leaving me. Well, this is why. These are the types of proteins that you have access to and you're eating. And another example here is the protein powder. Granted, I would say there are, I'm going to find like a really good, I forgot the name. There was a really pretty good one. I have to look it up, the name of the protein powder. If you really want to know the name, the I will let me know in the comment. I will put it down or just mention in another video. But things like protein powder is a supplement. It's not your main source of protein. These are things that were originally supposed to be used as, like, let's say you have a very, very busy day and you haven't had any protein, then that's when, like, I can see you supplementing this. But people are using these protein snacks products as your main sources of protein. And that's really dangerous because now you're eating all this ultra processed stuff, thinking that you're being healthy, you're being fit. The fitness industry itself, they market this shit. They market all these things. Um, and in the long term, your body is going to pay for it. And again, um, we're looking for habits that will last us a lifetime, not just get us temporary results. And let me see. So here's an example of like protein snack that I would actually say, yeah, like go ahead, eat it. Because when you look at this are like chumps, I actually do use this too sometimes as a good protein snack. Um, Is it this? No, I'm not sure if it's this one. There was another one. I think there's another one, but I will say from reading the ingredients list, first, I don't see, you know, sugar within the, I don't see sugar within the ingredients list. So I would say this one compared to the other ones are better, but again, you're better off making your own types of snack. Like you can dry your own beef. You can make your own like dehydrated beef sticks, beef jerky. Make yours, season it, and chew that. But because I don't know I'm not sure about this collagen casing, but everything else looks pretty good. Like it looks pretty clean. Um, yeah, I would definitely choose this over the last two protein products I showed you. Um, but I rarely eat these, but when I am on the road if I'm like driving long distance and I stop by a gas station, I usually see these. These are just something to like get me going where I still get some protein going, but it's not like extremely processed. It's actually, and then with this is like my go-to yogurt. Like you still get like the protein in there. Still get a good amount of protein, 19 grams of protein. And look at this. Honestly, to me, hands out, I believe that this is like the best source of protein. No added artificial or natural flavor. No added, yeah, coloring. So like here, they actually, what they claim on the label matches with your ingredients. Look at that. Cultured pasteurized skim milk. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the ingredients list. And look at here and how much, yeah, 19 grams of protein per serving. That is, that's a lot of protein. And what I do is I mix it with fruits. I mix it with grapes or I mix it with like lime or I put it in like I season food like chicken. I add, you know, there's ways to like add more protein in your food and and sometimes I do want it to be sweeter because it is like if you don't like sour, I would just add my own sugar. I would rather do that than buy plain yogurt, control how much sugar I put in it, then go buy the other protein. Let me see. I had put some protein, like the Chobani protein that I had with like the other sugars in there because you don't know the state of the types of sugar that they're putting there. And a lot of times these sugars are like processed versus just getting your own pure and yeah. So, but I do just mix it in my food or some fruit, some very sweet fruit. Usually when I have mangoes, I'll like mash it up, mix it up. Yup, 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 and eat it up. I love it. Absolutely love it, but you definitely cannot go wrong with plain yogurt. And also for your eggs, I would encourage you. I know them egg prices is getting everyone, but if you can, I would encourage you to get pasteurized raised eggs because it retain that is like the most nutrient dense, like the most protein you're gonna get out of an egg because in America, unfortunately, all eggs are not made the same. So if you're going grocery shopping, I would highly suggest this is the best type of egg you can get. So these are just examples of like real protein versus fake protein. And if you want an even more extensive list, I can always create that. But I just wanted to show you guys, what to look for you know, and I'm hoping that this shines a light, especially if you've been like feeling really frustrated with your weight journey and you probably were making the mistakes of buying these things that you thought were healthy, but were not actually helping you with your goal. So, and again, this is not me telling you never eat any of these foods again. This is just the goal to simply understand what you're actually eating so you can, you know, be aware how often you're consuming this. And so when you're sitting there wondering why you're not seeing results, now I'm hoping this is part of the mystery to help solve that mystery for you. Um, And now that we've talked about hidden sugars and fake proteins, the next thing that I will be talking about in the next video that might surprise you even more will be like diet foods, weight loss products that have been like highly marketed. And especially for weight loss, and yet they are one of the most misleading products in the grocery stores. So, again, if this series is helping you understand food labels better, subscribe because in the next video, we're going to be breaking down the truth about diet foods and weight loss products. And toodles. Okay, now how do I exit from this? Uh-oh.